I talk with a lot of anxious women, and more often than not, what I hear is how overwhelmed they feel. They know that their schedules are too full, they know their brains are too full, but they have no idea what to do about it or what's causing it. Trying to balance work and home responsibilities, keep everything running smoothly and everybody happy, then to do it perfectly is emotionally, mentally, and physically exhausting. So I created a short 5-question quiz to help you get to the bottom of why you feel so overwhelmed and to give you some solutions to help you feel less stressed and anxious and more confident. Because when you know what you're doing that's causing you to stress, you can swap habits to create more space for yourself to rest and relax. Resting and relaxing makes it easier to think clearly, to work efficiently, and to still have time for yourself to go do the stuff you've been wanting to do. And wouldn't it feel amazing to be confident, to feel calm, and to be able to go have fun again? I mean, I think so. You can take that quiz using the link in the podcast show notes and have a very first step forward out of overwhelm in less than 5 minutes. Welcome to the More Than Anxiety podcast. I'm Megan DeVito, and I help ambitious women break out of the anxiety cycle that keeps them frustrated and stuck. Get ready for a lighthearted approach that will change what you think, how you feel, and what you believe about yourself. This podcast is full of simple steps, a lot of truth talk, and inspiration to take action so you walk away feeling confident, calm, and ready to live. Let's get to it. Hey there. Welcome to episode 120 of the More Than Anxiety podcast. I am always excited to have you here and to be able to come on and talk with you every single week. So if you are a high achiever, if you are a woman who is out there juggling all of the work in the middle of this season, because this episode is going to come out right around Christmas time when it's really busy, isn't it? And then there's that weird week between Christmas and New Year's where you're not sure what to do with yourself. But if you're still trying to finish up end of the year projects, maybe you've got more holiday things that are just kind of dangling out there. Your family is getting together. This episode is for you. 2025 is coming. And maybe you're listening to this in June and you're like, yeah, well, we're well into 2025 and you're ready to shut it off. Don't shut it off, because this information that I'm going to share with you today is going to help you no matter where you are in the year. But let's be honest, the first release is going to be right at the new year when everybody wants to go into resolutions and decide all the new things that they're going to do. Hit the brakes. We're going to talk about that today. I want to talk about how doing less so that you have more time, more energy, and more peace of mind with less stress and less anxiety is the thing to do in 2025. Today, I'm talking about shedding all of the habits, all of the commitments, all of the stuff that is in your way, the things that are keeping you maybe a little too comfortable even, or definitely stuck, definitely feeling like everything is crazy around you. Let's just get rid of it. Instead of using New Year's or wherever you are in the year to do more or to change or add something to your life, I want you to ask yourself, what can I stop doing this year or where I am right now to feel more calm, to feel more confident, and to find more joy in my life? This is super important stuff. Get ready. Get paper and pen if you need to. If you need to write this stuff down, just hit pause. I'm not going anywhere. Then come back and join me. So let's talk about the problem with doing too much, having too much. And let's just start with the basic stuff. Let's talk about if you're sitting at your desk. This, like right now, the desk that I'm sitting at is a little bit more cluttered than I would like it to be. It distracts me. It makes me see all the things around me. So let's start with the weight of having too much stuff. I started thinking about this a few weeks ago. I had just commented on somebody else's post saying how much I miss having those big boxes where you could just take your things and put them in the boxes. Where I live, Goodwill or Salvation Army would just have these places where you clean out your things, you donate them to Goodwill or Salvation Army. We haven't had those since COVID, but I love cleaning out my closets, cleaning out just things like, okay, I have this, I'm done with it, I don't love it anymore, and I get rid of it. If you are listening to this in America, my guess is that you noticed that we are consumers, aren't we? We buy things just because we get stressed out. We buy new shirts. We just go pick things up all the time. Oh, I saw this really cool little thing. Stuff is energy. So let's start with the things that are around you in your physical environment. How much of your energy is drained by clutter? And what I mean by that is how much are you looking around and you're just on edge because it's like, oh my God, why is there stuff everywhere? Like I can't even decide what I need to do because I can't think clearly. Clutter is notorious for getting in your brain, even if you don't realize it. Even if you tell me, you know what, I have a messy desk, I know where everything is. I believe you that you know where everything is. But I will also tell you that when you have a closet that can't open or the kitchen drawer that's full of like random stuff, the junk drawer, we all have a junk drawer, don't we? All these things that we don't need, all of this stuff creates visual noise. And what I mean by that is it pulls your attention away from the things that are really important to you. And you get distracted. You're distracted from your family. You're distracted from your work. You're distracted by whatever. It's stealing your focus. So we have too much stuff, so much to the point that in America, how common is it for somebody to have to go buy a storage facility to store the rest of their stuff? Like so much that we can't even keep it in our houses sometimes. So that could be part of the problem. Another part is that we have a lot of things that we need to shed that might include coping habits. And by coping habits, you might call them coping skills, but I'm going to call them habits because habits and skills don't have the same feel to them. And they don't actually help. So we all have our go-tos, right? It might be that you grab your phone and you're like, oh, look at this. I could just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And you can, and I'm totally guilty of that. That is just a go-to coping habit. It might be pouring a second glass of wine. Like, oh my God, if I have to go to one more event, I'm going to die. I need a glass of wine. Maybe that's a coping habit that you have. It might be going out and buying a new white t-shirt, which is mine. Or maybe you go out and you buy a new video game, whatever it is for you, something, shopping to feel better. Or it might be staying up super duper late to watch another Netflix series because you just can't quite get that quiet time anywhere else during the day. So to make yourself feel better, you stay up really late, playing on your phone, watching Netflix, maybe watching YouTube videos, whatever it is. They feel like they're helping in the moment, right? You do feel better because you're getting some dopamine because the wine takes the edge off or whatever it is, you connect with somebody, like some person that you barely know on social media. But what's really happening is that they're numbing you instead of really helping you take care of the actual problem. So even though it feels good in the short term, it's actually keeping you more stuck. And the third thing I want to talk about is really this idea of overcommitting ourselves and saying yes to things that we don't want to do. And what that does is it clutters up our calendar. So if you are saying yes to too many things, whether it's volunteering for your kids' school field trip or extra work projects because you want to look good to your coworkers or to your boss, or even hosting parties or events that stress you out. If you are feeling drained, if you are feeling resentful, if you are questioning why you keep saying yes and why nothing ever feels like it's enough, and you're trying to do all of this perfectly, no wonder you feel bad. Let's shed this stuff. These are all problems. They seem like they're helping, but these are the things that are actually keeping you stuck. Because what happens is when you're caught in this cycle of feeling exhausted, of feeling frustrated, of feeling like you can't be perfect enough or do enough or trying to make everybody else happy with you, you're running yourself ragged and you're stressing yourself out. And as that stress builds, you start to feel anxious. You feel really busy, but like you're not getting anything done. You feel maybe like you're successful at your job, like, oh my gosh, but I'm so good. Like I volunteer for all these things, but you have that resentment. So you're not really satisfied with anything. It's sort of like if you were going to run a marathon or swim a race or play a basketball game or start any kind of project, but there was never really an end to it. Do you know what I mean? Imagine if you were going to go out and run a race and they kept moving the finish line. Who would run that? First of all, who would run that race ever? What if you were starting a project, but you were like, never actually knew when it was done? Would you actually start that project? My guess is no, but that's kind of what we're doing to ourselves when we keep adding on more and more things to try to feel good. Those things aren't for you. So in 2025 or in 2027, whenever you're listening to this episode, let's find the things that are for you. And I want to start this by asking, what can you stop doing now or at the beginning of 2025 or wherever you are when you're listening to this? And instead of asking how you can add more, like, I'm going to start working out, I'm going to start eating healthy, I'm going to start doing this, let's give ourselves a break. Let's just rephrase it a little bit. We don't need more routines. We don't need more goals. We want to say, what can I stop doing? And what is one thing right now? Like if you think about it, what is one thing that you know that you need to let go of? Whether it's junk, whether it's a bad habit, whether it's saying yes to things, something else entirely. What is one thing that you can let go of? And my guess is if you answer this question, it probably feels a little bit scary to you because I started doing this in November of 2024, where I was like, hold the phone. I'm slowing down. I was doing a million things. I felt like I was doing everything I could possibly do, and nothing felt like it was working. Nothing felt like it was enough. I was getting burnt out. I was tired of doing stuff. I'm like, this is stupid. And I decided to cut it out and stick with one thing. And to cut down my social media habits, to cut down what I was doing in so many different areas of my life. I packed up a ton of stuff and took it to the Salvation Army. And I just needed to clear things out because I needed that space. And my guess is that you have something like that too. What we want to do is we want to do less to accomplish more and to feel better. So we want to make it simple. And I just want to remind you that simple does not mean that you are lazy. It does not mean that you are a quitter. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It just means that you're choosing what's actually important to you that's going to be productive. So we want to do less to be more productive and more fulfilled. Are you with me? So let's talk about how you can do this. Again, I want to remind you that anytime you try to let go of something, if you are changing a habit, if you are changing what you're doing, your brain might throw a mini temper tantrum. And what I mean by that is you might notice that you feel really uncomfortable and question why you're doing it. And it's okay to question why you're doing it. It really is. If your answer is, I don't really know because Megan told me to, stop. Hold on a minute. I want you to get really clear on why you're giving up what you're giving up. Why are you choosing what it is? But if you notice that you feel anxious and just uncomfortable for no reason you can put your finger on, that is normal. That is completely okay. Brains like to keep doing the same things. They like bad habits. They like good habits. We're just choosing what we want to keep. Be prepared for it to be uncomfortable for just a little while, because once you get into the new habit, your brain will just go on with it. But just be aware. Okay. So let's talk about those 3 things that you can do, simple things that you can change. One is to stop over consuming. As a little bit of a tree hugger and somebody who is super focused, like all of my voting goes towards the climate. I'll just be straight up with you. That is my issue. That's what I vote on. But when we talk about over consuming, I just want to say that over consuming isn't just buying more t-shirts, buying more video games, buying more water bottles, or whatever it is that you're buying. This also includes things like I'm over consuming, I don't know, for me, Cliff Bars, you guys. Somehow I ended up loving Cliff Bars. They don't even taste that good, but I have to admit, I'm trying to not eat Cliff Bars. They're easy. They keep me full for a long time. I'm trying to stop consuming so many weird ingredients. I started that too in November. But it might be consuming, maybe if you come home every day and you notice that you grab a glass of wine, maybe you are going to stop consuming wine every day and just have it on Fridays. Or maybe it is, I'm going to stop consuming so much TikTok. Or maybe I'm going to stop consuming French fries on my way home. Or it could be, I'm going to stop buying so much junk. Whatever it is, just start questioning whether you really need that snack or a drink, or if you have some emotions that you need to deal with. My guess is that if you are consuming out of habit, it's not that you actually need something. It's just that it feels good. And there's an emotion there that you need to deal with instead. I can help you with that. That's part of what coaching does. It's just figuring out, what are you feeling? What are you avoiding? Why are you avoiding it? What would you rather do instead? How can we fix that problem? So if you're like, wait a second, I don't even know, that's okay. I can help you. Just message me I'm mostly on LinkedIn, but I do check my messages on Instagram regularly. Send me a message and let's talk about it. The second thing that you can do is start saying no to other people. Did you just flinch? Did you just say, no, you don't understand. I can't do that because I need to make people happy. I don't want anyone to be upset with me. Please don't say that. No, I'm going to say it again. You have to stop people pleasing. Every time you say yes to something that you don't want to do, whether it's a field trip or an extra project at work where you're like, this is not my thing. you are saying no to yourself. You are saying no to something that could get you really excited, that you would kick butt at just to make someone else happy. So imagine what would happen if you just trusted that no was enough and decided to let go of the guilt. Because honestly, guys, no is a full sentence. I also want to flip that around and say every time that you say no to something, you are saying yes to something that's better for you. So when you say yes, you're saying no to something that's not for you. And when you say no, you are saying yes to something that would actually move you forward to what you want, whether it's what you want to feel or a project that you want to be successful about or more time with your kids. Lots of different things can fall into this. And the third thing I want you to do is to stop trying to be perfect. Because let's be honest, we all know that perfect doesn't exist. We can say, I know it's not a thing, but we're still chasing it. One of the questions I ask a lot of people when I'm talking to them in a coaching call is, tell me what perfect looks like. And they'll start telling me all about how so-and-so has their house this way, or what their mom did, or what they think their boss wants them to do. And I'm like, oh, that sounds terrible. So if it's not perfect for that person, I mean, if it's perfect for them, but it's not perfect for me, how do I know who's perfect I'm supposed to be looking at here? If you are chasing perfect, it's somebody else's thing. Because my guess is your perfect and somebody else's perfect aren't the same. And any way it goes, somebody's going to be upset. So many people are just trying to have perfect job, the perfect project at work, the perfectly decorated home. We're supposed to have like perfect hair. I look like a drowned cat today right now. I just got my hair cut. It's pretty close to perfect, but it's sopping wet, so it looks terrible right now. So I just want to know, what would it be like for you to be like, you know what, I did a great job on that. It's not perfect, but I'm really proud of it. Can you be proud of yourself without being perfect? The answer is yes. And if you don't know how, again, reach out to me. This is the stuff that coaching works on. What are you already doing really well? How are you practically perfect? How are you actually perfect in your own way, no matter what anybody else says? So those are just 3 things that you can do right now, is just stop the over-consuming, stop people-pleasing, and stop trying to be perfect. So what happens when you do this? What happens when you finally let go of these things? The first thing is that when you walk into a house that has been decluttered, have you ever done this? So maybe go back to when you were a teenager or a little kid. Maybe you had like a really dirty room. So some kids have messier rooms than other kids. If you've had this experience, just think about how this felt. And if you haven't, imagine what it might feel like, I guess. If you were a messy kid, and maybe your mom came in, it was just like, maybe she was furious and she just came in and gutted your room and cleared it out. But that feeling when you walk in and you're like, whoa, it's clean. That feels kind of nice. Or when you vacuum out your car. Moms, especially, if you are in the toddler stage and you're listening to this and you realize that your kid chucked French fries under the seat while you were driving, and then you clear your car out, you know that feeling when you're like, how nice my car is. I didn't even realize it was this nice. That is the energy that you can bring in by packing up the things that do not feel good or necessary or right in your house anymore, or things that you haven't worn. If you haven't worn it in over a year, put it in a box and donate it to somebody else that'll wear it. You're not going to wear it again. Every time you try it on, you don't like it, get rid of it. Give it to somebody who will love it. Because I want you to imagine what that feels like. That's a good feeling, isn't it? That's what happens when you get rid of clutter. Whether it's clutter in your workspace, clutter in your closet, clutter in your brain because you're thinking about too many things, all of that stuff. That's a good feeling, isn't it? That's how we feel we have better energy. The second thing is I want you to really imagine what it would be like to feel confident instead of anxious. So picture saying no to someone who you tend to say yes to a lot. Maybe it's your sibling or your kid or your boss, or whoever it is. And I just want you to picture saying no without over-explaining and without apologizing. And I want you to imagine how free you're going to feel when you start to trust your own instincts. Because when you stop saying yes to everything, you lower the stress in your body, and suddenly your brain has new ideas. And you have the energy and the time to do them. That is important. Imagine what that feels like to feel confident enough to say, I don't think that's for me. Thank you for asking. checking out, going home. It's possible. I promise it's possible. You're not going to get fired. Everything's okay. But you have to have the confidence to first. And the third thing I want you to think about is having time to do what's really important to you. Because when you stop overcommitting to things, you start opening up space for things that are really exciting for you, things that you didn't even know you were interested in, or things that you've been dying to do that you haven't had the time to do. When you start saying no, you're giving someone else the opportunity to say yes that might be something that's really important to them. That is the good side of saying no. Every time you say no, someone else has the opportunity to say yes. I like to tell this story about field trips. I know I've told it in the past, but when I was a teacher, I would put out a thing like, hey, we got a field trip. And parents would be like, oh, you know what? I'll go. It's fine. And I always wanted to say, you don't have to. It's okay. There are other moms. And there would be every time. And even when I was volunteering for field trips, there would be parents that were like, I have to go. I mean, somebody has to go, right? No, there are other parents who want to go. And if you are just going to be a body in a spot, there's another mom that might have tried to be able to go in the past that couldn't go because it was taken. Let somebody else go. They may be so excited to do it. This is true whether you're talking about field trips or projects at work or volunteering at your church. It's all true. You get more time with your kids. You get more time to be creative on the projects that you're really excited about at work. Or even just, you get time to go sit on the couch and like stare out the window and look at the birds, whatever it is that you like to do. Maybe you want to paint your nails. Maybe you want to take a nap or read a book. You have more time when you learn to say no, when you have the confidence to say no, and when you stop overcommitting. All of these things can happen. So if you are ready to stop doing the things that are draining you, if you're ready to start feeling confident, if you want to feel really calm so that you're not full of stress and not full of anxiety all the time, if you want to feel in control of your calendar and your energy, this is where coaching comes in, my friends. So the new year is coming up. Message me. I told you I'm mostly on LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram. You can message me at either of those places. Let's find time where we can talk about what you want in 2025, not about what you don't want. Let's talk about where you want to go. And then let's just create a plan. Let's make 2025 the year where you start shedding what's not for you and get really intentional about what is for you. Need to set more resolutions. You don't need some other productivity hack. What you really need is some clarity on where you're going. You need some support for when you start to feel uncomfortable and when no feels like a really bad, dirty word. And you need some accountability so that you actually follow through. Otherwise, you probably already be doing it. I know that was true for me. And that's exactly what I'm here to do. I work with people one-on-one. So if you're like, no, I don't want a group coaching thing, that's okay. I don't offer one. I offer one-on-one coaching. If that sounds good, I am inviting you right now to work with me one-on-one in the new year. All you have to do is reach out. Tell me you want to talk about coaching. I've already told you 2 ways you can do that. The other way is just to go to my website. It's megandevito.com. I have a tab at the top of the screen that says work with me. I will tag it in the show notes. You schedule time, we jump on the phone and we talk about what's happening for you in 2025, and we come up with a plan to make it real so that it really falls in line. You don't stop doing things when they weigh you down. You stop doing things when you make space for the things that get you excited and give you space that make you want to do more fun things. And that means you have to shed what's not for you. You will not stop doing things that are heavy. Otherwise, you would have. You'll just keep carrying the load. Let's not do that anymore. All right? So here's your homework. Ask yourself, what can I stop doing in 2025? Write it down. Sit with it. And if you're ready to take it to the next step, reach out because I am here to help you make it happen. 2025 is coming. It's like right there in our faces. If you're ready to get simple, to make it easy, to have less clutter, to feel lighter, and to finally focus on yourself and what's important to you, you can do it. I promise you can. You guys, thank you so much for listening this week. I will be back again next week. If I don't talk to you before, I'll talk to you then. Take care. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the More Than Anxiety podcast. Before you go, be sure to subscribe and leave a review so others can easily find this resource as well. And of course, if you're ready to feel calm, to stop overthinking, and have a lot more fun, you can go to the show notes, click the link, and talk to me about coaching. I'll talk to you soon.